Are Bitcoin and Litecoin going to break out today? What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here. I hope everybody's having a fabulous Sunday and a great weekend. We're going to take a look at the charts, starting out with Litecoin, moving on to Bitcoin, and seeing where we might be headed, kind of look at some key areas to watch. Also, stick around to the very end of the video. We're going to pick our winner of the free t-shirt. And if you don't win, don't worry about it. Just leave your comment in the comment section down below, and that'll get you entered to win next Sunday. So definitely don't forget to do that. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody that's been liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. We've reached over 2,500 subscribers. That is awesome. This channel is growing so fast. I'm humbled, guys. I appreciate everything and everybody that's sharing the videos and getting them out there. Also, don't forget to check out the free Discord. It's totally free. We all help each other out in there, share our charts, whatnot, ideas. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. There's a link to that below in the description box below the video. There's also some other affiliate links. There's ABRA, Coinbase, Ledger, and Brave browser. Definitely check those out if you haven't, guys. It helps the channel out. Yeah, let's get on with the video. All right, guys, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market only. Anybody that's doing any trading or investing in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market can be extremely volatile and risky. Also, keep in mind, it's still a speculative market. Don't put in more than you're willing to lose, guys. And with that being said, if you're new here or you haven't already, hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand side of the screen. That'll get you subscribed to the channel. And then if you tick the little notification bell, that'll get you notified when I post new videos, as I do post every day. That way you don't miss out on anything. Don't forget to smash the likes. Leave your comments, guys. That's all I ask of you, is to smash the likes, leave your comments. I'll never charge for anything in here. I share this freely. And I've been pointing out lately, don't pay for the paid courses and the paid call groups and all that stuff, guys. It's all a big ripoff. You're just paying for somebody's gambling habit. All the information is on the internet free. All you got to do is look around for it, do some legwork. You can learn to chart and learn to do analysis all on your own, and also trade and learn risk management and all that. So, guys, don't pay those groups. Anyway, I hate seeing people get ripped off. So, looking at Litecoin on the weekly, and like I've been pointing out in the last few videos, we're definitely looking like we're going to get a bullish cross here, the 21 EMA crossing the 55 EMA on the weekly, which will be extremely bullish. If we close and this next tick is the cross, I believe it's going to be an awesome week. So keep that in mind, and let's get into more recent and see what's going on. First, we'll take a look at the daily. And as you can see, I've had these targets in here for quite a while. If you're new here, I'll run through it really quick. We were looking at this as a cup and a handle with a neckline of around $94. And if we were to break through, the target of that is the 167 area, guys. I do still believe we could possibly be headed there. And then I have another one looking at this as a bigger cup and handle, and the neckline around the 108 area, somewhere in there. The estimated target for that is 192. Definitely possible, guys. Let's look into the RSI, see what's going on there. This is the daily RSI, still in this rising channel where we had a bear trap right here. But it still looks, still looks good. We could come back down for another touchdown here. Guys, keep in mind, if we break this trend line on this rising channel here, we're definitely going to have, a little bit of bearish sentiment, a little bit of bearish action. And we will take a look at both scenarios here in a minute. Let's go into the 4-hour RSI, and then we'll go into the recent price action. All right, so this is kind of tough to see if you haven't been following the channel. So I'll try to run through it real quick. But this resistance line up here and this support line down here are a big descending channel. And within that, we had this falling wedge, which we broke out of here, had a nice move up. and then we came into a falling channel, which we broke out of here. Came into another falling channel, and if you see these two blue lines here, that's a rising channel within this falling channel. I know it sounds confusing, but I'm just trying to explain this for you guys. We could be coming back down for another touchdown here, and if that breaks, you know, we could get something like this again, or, you know, obviously the bearish scenario. So let's look into the price action and see what's going on. All right, so let's look at the bearish scenario first, guys. I've had these, and you can look back at my prior videos to see these lines have been here for a long time. I do think they're all important. That's why I leave them there. So sorry if the chart's a little messy. But we are going to look at, first of all, the bearish scenario here. It's good to have a plan for both ways, right? So we had this trend line here, and we popped down out of it, and we watched that for a couple days. We had been talking about it in Discord. If we pop back up through here, it was going to be bullish, which we did. Now, we could be coming back down to test this, and that could be, you know, in the $94, $95 area, somewhere in that range. That's possible. And if this breaks, then we're looking at the bearish scenario, guys. And as you can see, these two blue lines here, I have a ascending broadening wedge, and we could fall down, touch the bottom of this before spiking up. But if that doesn't hold as support, which I think it will, I'm just making everybody aware. If that doesn't hold, then our next target's at $64 to $65 range, which would be testing the top of this descending channel here. And if that doesn't hold, then we would look at the long-term bottom trend line around the $53 range, somewhere in that area. Like I said, I don't believe that's going to happen, guys, but we do need to take a look at it. Now, what I think is going on is I still have this target of 116 to 117 area, and I do believe we're still going up that, in my opinion. So this is a measured move off this flagpole, and this being a big bull flag to where we broke out here. And that still gives me the measured move of 167. Now, let me zoom in a little bit and look at what's going on here. We could look at this as a bull flag forming here, and this being the flagpole. And if we excuse me, if we move the flagpole to the breakout, that also gets up to that 116 117 area. So I do believe we're headed there eventually here, guys. We may have another little dip down, like I said, maybe test this. Worst case, well, not worst case, if that breaks, obviously, then we'd be looking to touch the bottom of this wedge. So let's move on to Bitcoin. You know what? I'm not done yet. Let's look at how big this move could be. And if we look at this as top of this rising wedge, and also this old trend line here drawn from the beginning where we broke out, where those meet is around the 145. That is a definite possible target, guys. And if we were to break up past that, we would do a measured move of that whole wedge to where it broke out, and that would get us up to right around $200 range, which, like I said in the beginning, looking at that bigger cup and handle could get us up to 192. So that's the high target, which is definitely possible. And then here's the old cup and handle, the first cup and handle we were looking at. So keep an eye on that, guys. That's what I'm looking at in Litecoin. And here is Bitcoin. And all right, so here's the weekly, same thing. All the EMAs look bullish here. Depending how the week ends today, it'll be pretty interesting. But this candle is looking pretty nice. If we get a move up, you know, it could be a really awesome move. Let's look at the daily now and kind of see what's going on in that. All right, guys. So here's the targets for Bitcoin on the daily, and I think we're going to be doing a little dip here, and I'll talk about that in a second. Where I think we might be headed. Try to keep the fear away and figure out what's going on. So looking at this as a cup and handle, which we made our target. We had a target of, and if you hadn't watched past videos on it, we hit our target around 8,400. Now we're looking at this, and look at this as the resistance and this as the support, and we had been looking like a rising broadening wedge. And the measured move of where we broke out of that, you just measure the wedge from where it broke out and put it up to the top, and that gets me to the target of the 196.22. I'm still pretty firm on that. I still believe we're headed up there, guys, at least. And then if we have a correction, maybe back to, we'll talk about the correction in the gold week or gold daily versus the Bitcoin daily versus the gold weekly. Anyways, I'm kind of out of it this morning, guys. It's been a long weekend, but been doing a lot of work on stuff. So anyways, that's where we're at on that. Let's look at the daily RSI. And if you guys have been watching, you know we were watching this rising channel. And where we broke out here, kind of like Litecoin, and I said it looked like a a bear trap. So we drew a line from there, and that was before we touched down here. Now we've had a touch here, and we're getting resistance from the bottom of this, the old channel, and coming back down to test this one. I do believe, it's possible. We'll look at the bearish scenario if this breaks down from here. But if we get a bounce here, on the daily, we are definitely continuing up. So let's look at the 4 hour and see if that helps us anymore. All right, looking at the 4 hour. Obviously, this is a long rising channel from way back in December. And we had a rising wedge here, which we broke out of here, came down and formed kind of a falling channel here, popped out of it, and then been testing the top for support. We could possibly come back down and test the bottom of this rising channel here, guys, worst case scenario. But I do believe we're probably going to get a tick up from here. Let's look at we're showing there is hidden bullish divergence. We're getting lower lows in the RSI right here in the 4 hour, and we're getting higher highs in the price, or higher lows in the price action, which is hidden bullish divergence, guys. So I pointed this out in my Discord group a little bit ago. Like I said, definitely check out the free Discord. I don't get in there a whole lot lately, especially this weekend, got a lot going on. But if you look at this, I know a lot of people don't believe in fractals, but they do help if you look for them and you find them and don't just make them up. But if you look at this, we had two peaks over here on this move, and then obviously the big sell-off, which was a stop hunt, in my opinion, came just below where everybody would have had their stops over here. And then over here, same thing, we're getting two peaks, and then we had a stop hunt, which stop hunt, everybody would have placed their stops under this wick here, and they would have got stopped out. Same thing I think is happening here. We're going to have a stop hunt below, let me zoom in, below this wick here, which will get us down to touch this line somewhere in the 77.70 to 77.90 range, somewhere in there. I believe we're going to have a stop hunt before our push up. Again, guys, this is only my opinion, but that is where I see us going. Let me get rid of this stuff now. Get this out of here. Kind of clean up the chart a little bit and show you where my targets are. We're going to start out with the bearish scenario, just like we did in Litecoin. Then we're going to move on to the bullish scenario. So on the bearish scenario, obviously, if we were to break down, if we didn't get support on this line, I've drawn this line off of these wicks here, which I believe that's going to be our stop hunt, which would line up with the 55 EMA here. So looking at the bearish scenario, if we were to break down from here and go all the way down, we're looking at the $7,000 to $7,100 range, guys. I believe this would probably be, not a straight down. It would be more sideways, which would also just be retesting the top of that rising broadening wedge. So that is possible. Keep that in mind. Next support after that's around the 6,200, which would be the top of this old channel back here. So definitely keep that in mind. Keep an eye on these areas. I don't believe we're going to go down. I believe this is going to break out up and it's going to be a pretty swift, heavy breakout. But even if it breaks down, it's going to be pretty swift, I believe. But like I said, my opinion, we got more upward momentum. So, all right, now as the bullish scenario, looking at this, I drew an orange line up here along with this white line. We were looking at this as a falling wedge that we broke out of here, and we had a measured move of that got us up somewhere around the 9,000 range. Let me hold on, I'll check it out real quick. If we go to the top of this wick down to where it broke out and put it up to the falling wedge where we broke out, that gets us up to the $8,800 range. So that is my target out of this wedge. But like I said, we're probably going to come down and test this area. We could come all the way down as far as 76.40, somewhere in there, to test the top of this wedge. But I'm pretty sure that we're going to stop right around the 77.70 to 77.90 range. But if not, we'll, come down and touch the bottom of this channel again as possible also. But if we were to break out up here, guys, like I said, my target's around the 8,800 range. And that's if we can break the top of this channel, which is going to be around the $8,600 range. And then if we did a measured move using that channel, that gets us right up to that 96.22 area that we're looking at for the bigger, for the breakout of this rising broadening wedge. So that's where I'm at with that. Now we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin daily chart. If you haven't seen this before, guys, keep an eye on this yellow line right here, because that is my target for the end of the year, or by the end of the year, around $46,000. I know that's pretty bold. And again, guys, it's my opinion. Don't do your own due diligence. Don't use what I'm saying to make your decisions. We've seen what happened with that in the hyperwave bullshit theory. There's probably still people out there waiting on $1,000 Bitcoin. I don't think that's coming, guys. It could happen, but I highly doubt it. I think a lot of people got screwed listening to someone that was so sure that something was going to happen, claiming all this, hyperwave bullshit. That's why I say do your own due diligence, man. Learn what you're doing. Don't depend on other people, even me, anybody on YouTube or anything to make your decisions. Anyways, on each one of these peaks here, I drew a trend line to where it broke down and across. And you'll see when we zoom in that each one of these trend lines was resistance and then becomes support. And I'm going to show you where I think this correction's possibly going to start and possibly how far down we're going to go. And we'll take a look at that in a little bit here. But I want you to take a good look at that. Keep an eye on this yellow line. And I'm going to switch over to the gold weekly and look at the resemblance. It's absolutely amazing, guys. I believe in patterns, and I believe in human emotion, and things play out like that. And that's what makes patterns. Even though this gold chart is over 20 years, it was much bigger market, much harder to get access to it. There wasn't the internet, social media, none of that stuff. Well, Bitcoin has all that, so it's sped it up. So this is in a 2-year period. And like I said, it's a pattern. Patterns are patterns. I like to play patterns. So that's what I'm looking at there. And if you look at how gold obviously never had a big capitulation candle that everybody was talking about, and now nobody seems to be talking about it anymore. It's kind of funny. There is a video on my channel too. When we pick the free t-shirt winner here, I'll show you the video. Definitely check it out. It's my opinion of the hyperwave bullshit theory. So you definitely want to check that out. But anyways, touched bottom twice on the long-term trend line, and boom, we moved up. And I seen the hyperwave crap yesterday. They start drawing lines. Oh, it could have been this, could have been that. They're drawing lines through bodies and shit. I mean, it's like they're pulling for strings to keep holding on to that idea. I don't know. Stresses me out. But anyways, as you can see, we had the two touches here. And right in here, guys, 2003, right in March 2003, the gold ETF was approved. And you see what happened after that. So everybody's saying the ETF won't do anything if it's approved. Full of shit. And I believe there's some big news coming. Could be the ETF. It's very possible. Because I do believe in show me the charts, I'll tell you the news. And by looking at this formation, this pattern, and looking at here, we're due for the big news. Another thing I want to point out is you can see a little sideways action right here. Right there. I believe that's where we're at on this. We're getting that little sideways action before the big boom, but again, we'll have to see what happens. So anyways, sorry I'm rambling on here, guys, but yeah, I did want to make that point. We had two touches here, just like in Bitcoin. I am going to zoom in now, and we've had two touches on the bottom, just like in gold. And if we zoom in and look at each one of these trend lines, and this is where I come up with where I think the correction could be headed, worst case scenario. So as you can see, each one of these lines that I've drawn from the peaks to where it broke down was resistance, becomes support. And this is the last line that I have drawn in there. So worst case, guys, we come down. I believe this line's going to hold for our support. And if we came straight down today, that would be around the $6,600 range. But I do believe we're probably going to come up to that 9,600 area. And then if we did they're calling for the 30 to 40% correction. Well, if we went up to 96 here, if we made it up to that 96 area, we bring it down to where the top of this trend line would be, and we're looking at about a 30% correction. So that would make sense. I do believe, that's why I believe we're going up to that area. So now I want to take a look at the RSI, guys. We'll start with the weekly RSI. And let's see, open it up. All right, so we're looking at the weekly RSI. This is 2013 bull run, 2017 bull run. You can see I drew the trend lines here. And in 2013, we had two touches of resistance, and then we broke out of it and never looked back. Same thing happened over here in 2018 bear market. 2 points of resistance and then broke through. Another thing I haven't showed before, I was looking at today. If I put this in a log chart, spread it out so you guys can see it. And we look at the areas of those, I don't know why my MACD's up here. I thought I got rid of that thing, but anyways. All right, so if we look at where we touched here, this was one of the touches of resistance on that line in the RSI. And also this one was, and this is where we broke through. As you can see, we never went lower. We had this little dip over here, but obviously that's not the exact same as what's happening here. So, and right here, this was one of our touches for resistance, and this was our other touch for resistance, and then we blew through. Now, obviously, guys, you can see what happens once people are saying we're overbought, but you can see what happens when we're overbought. We might have corrections. But we're definitely in a bull trend, guys. I believe this is just going to look like that. We're continuing up. My opinion. All right, let's go in and pick our winner of the free t-shirt. This is the video I was talking about, guys. Definitely watch that. The $1,000 bottom scam. I believe, it's kind of a tinfoil hat theory, but if you watch it and really think about it, keep an open mind, it makes a lot of sense, guys. A lot of sense. So definitely check that out if you get some time. So we're going to pick a random comment from a random video this week. Which one got more views? This one here. So we're going to copy the address, and we're going to bring it over to random comment picker. And again, guys, you can leave a comment in the comment section down below. That'll get you entered to win next Sundays. Let's load the comments. Another thing, I want to give a shout out to Crypto Jeremy. He does a crypto news channel. Definitely check him out. He gave me a shout out. I appreciate that. I wanted to shout out back. But yeah, check out his channel. It's Crypto Jeremy. He's been posting quite a bit of videos lately. So, all right, randomly pick a winner. Anthony Manganelli. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, but you won. And his comment was, the time has come to buy. That's awesome. So anyways, yeah, I appreciate you guys watching the video. And don't forget to click the Crypto Savvy logo above my head. That'll get you subscribed to the channel. Tick the little notification bell that'll get you notified when I post new videos. Smash the likes, guys. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think, and I will see you tomorrow.